What's up, sports fans? What's up, world? You are now tuned into the world's greatest MC Ron and his co-host.
It's your guy, Zen, on King.
And we are keeping it 10 toes down. We are the sports podcast that always keeps it real about sports talk. And we are recording this podcast on July 17th. 2025 at 6:53 p.m. approximately. Really exactly. But anyway, yeah. We are 2 weeks away from football season starting. Once again, people, I know it's preseason. But it's still football, man. It's still football, and the 2025 season is upon us. Man, it just feels so good. It just feels so good to say that football season is 2 weeks. But also, as a teacher, in my personal life, it's the dreaded summer vacation is over. But it's okay. It's all right. It's not about summer vacation being over. It's about the moves that are continuing to be made in the NBA offseason. That one I'd say big move that has happened is that Bradley Beal is headed to the Clippers. He agreed to a contract buyout by the Phoenix Suns. By the way, shout out to my Wizards, because talk about I'm giving y'all three names. John Wall, Bradley Beal, the guy that just got bought out, and Russell Westbrook. Matter of fact, I might give you a fourth name with Jordan Poole. These are guards that we basically overpaid for and signed bad contracts to, but every single last one of them we traded off to another team. So I don't know if we were smart or dumb or both. And what does that make the team? What do that make the teams that we traded them off to? That makes them even dumber. But anyways, how do you feel, KJ, that Bradley Beal is now? Matter of fact, let's talk, because the Clippers also made a whole bunch of other moves too. But how do you feel that Bradley Beal is now a Los Angeles Clipper? Does that change? Does this change your mind about them being a playoff team?
Well, first and foremost, I want to go ahead and say that I'm kind of sad that the Phoenix Suns process, shout out to Philly, didn't work. Again, like I keep telling y'all, quit trusting these processes, bro. Because you had Bradley Beal, you had Devin Booker, and you had Kevin Durant. Now, mind you, that might not have ever been anywhere close to one of the best defensive trios in league or in league history. But offensively, had the perfect opportunity to be so. But they only played 3 games together total. I'm exaggerating, but it might as well have been 3. But the craziest part about Houston, about the Suns, is that they had so much money tied up in Booker, Beal, and KD that they couldn't get a better roster. They were cap strapped. So especially because they was paying Bill $250 million to play 4 games. Man, shout out to Bradley Beal, but not shout out to the Suns. But now that he's bought out and that situation is over with, he's making $11 million a year. He's making $11 million over the span of 2 years for the Clippers, which
with a player option.
Which, player option or not, $11 million for a player who is averaging 21-4-4 is pretty good. And Phoenix was so bad last year. I thought Bradley Beal was averaging 6 points. No, he averaged 21 points. So he's not washed. Now, he's not the Bradley Beal of old who could average 38 if he wanted to. But 24-4 is pretty good, and I think he will be definitely very, very serviceable next to James Harden. Now that leads me to the Clippers. The Clippers other roster moves. Okay, we can. Yeah, they lost Powell, who was technically their number 2 option because Kawhi don't play. They got Brook Lopez as a backup center for Ivica Zubac, and hey, even Brook averaged 13 and 5. That's pretty good. But to me, I'm just now realizing this today. The Clippers got John Collins. I don't know when that happened or how that happened or who made that happen, but that shocks me. That actually moves the needle a lot for me. I understand y'all don't really. There are people out there who don't really know about or care about John Collins. Honestly, the only reason why I know about John Collins is because before he went to the Jazz, he played in Atlanta. And people, Atlanta fans, they gonna let you know about their players. You said
They
what?
swore by John Collins, man.
They swore by John Collins. Like you would have thought John Collins was the next coming to Shaq. The way they talk about him, but now though he was a very good player, very good player. It just didn't work out in Atlanta, and Utah is Utah, so he's not really gonna get the notoriety. But John Collins coming into the Clippers and solidifying that number 4 spot, and then Bradley Beal coming in and solidifying that number 2 spot. I mean, they were already a 5 seed last year. I think offensively they averaged 112 points, and defensively teams only averaged 108. Like they were a top 4 defensive team in the league last year. Minus Kawhi. Well, I guess Kawhi did play a lot of games last year, but I'm giving him Anthony. That's what I'm saying. But I'm gonna have to give him the Anthony Davis treatment. I need to see it again. Good job, but I need to see it again.
Because load manage. Listen, this man Kawhi load
Literally,
manage
bro.
in the playoffs.
Literally,
this man don't care about none of that. He don't care about no championship. Nah, he's gonna make sure.
He said, "I made a game winner.
If he's gonna play
over Joel Embiid, I won a championship for Toronto. I don't need to do nothing else. I already got rings with Pop. I don't need to do nothing else. Y'all just hand me a bag and I'll pretend to almost be ready to play." But
exactly, like I got 2 championship rings.
I'm the GOAT in my head. I might as well load manage if they gonna let me do it. But anyway,
I know.
Bradley Beal not only is good next to James Harden, but also takes more offensive pressure off of Kawhi. So really, all Kawhi does need to do is play defense. He can score. Obviously, he's Kawhi when healthy. He's still a very, very good NBA player, even with all these injuries. But we're gonna see how Kawhi looks. But if Kawhi can, duplicate what he did last year, I'm taking it back. I know this is keeping it 10 toes down, and I got to stand on my words, but I'm gonna take it back. The Clippers are definitely gonna be a playoff team next year. Definitely. I don't know who I'm gonna take out.
Originally, I had the Clippers as the playoff team, but I let you, KJ, talk me out of it.
Yeah, you did. I am pretty persuasive.
You. Once again, for those of you who don't know, like we have pre-show
podcast
talks. Yeah, pre-show talks, and so this man pre-show got me to convinced me that the Clippers aren't going to be the playoff team because loss of power and all that. I'm like, is Kawhi going to stay healthy? But I'm like, but it's still I'm gonna ride with the Clippers being a playoff team, and I'll kick the Warriors out. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm thinking about kicking the Warriors out. Well, I was looking, I was like, dang, I'm not gonna kick out Memphis. I'm in Minnesota. It's got to be the Warriors. No, Memphis is not even in my thing. So they're not even in it.
But yeah, this definitely makes the Clippers a playoff team. I think they're going to make the playoffs. Now, it's always the question with the Clippers for the past 5 years, really ever since Kawhi got there. Are they going to stay healthy? That was the problem when they got, well, when they originally got Kawhi and Paul George, they were healthy for that playoff run, then lost a 3-1 lead and all that good stuff. But I'm talking about the years after that, 2021, 2022. The subsequent years was, are they going to stay healthy? Are they good? If they stay healthy, they're going to be good. If they stay healthy, they're going to be good. We have been saying that year after year after year after year after year.
I'm kind of tired of people, like, if was a fifth, we would all be drunk. I don't think we should ever bank on, like, get ourselves worked up over, dang, if this person or if this team stays healthy, they can be amazing. I feel like that's just a talking point, because if a team is showing you who they are and you're still banking on them to not be, to be the opposite of that, it's kind of insanity. You dig?
Yeah, and so because of that, we both might be right. They might not actually, make the playoffs, because this is a team that always stays injured, especially with their main guys, especially with the main guy now in Kawhi Leonard, the guy who keeps on, once again, like I said, load manages through the playoffs, man. Now the championship, this man is going to load manage.
Honestly, at this point, it's really James Harden's team, because Kawhi don't be there.
Honestly, you know what? And he actually played really good last season too. Like, people, of course, James Harden is not the James Harden of old. We're not. As I said when James Harden went to the Sixers, I said that we are not going to ever see the Houston James Harden. But what we can see is still a great playmaker, guy who could still be a really good scorer. But we're not going to see the guy that averages 35, 36 points a game. Right. Yeah, 30 plus a game. We're not going to see that
30-point double-doubles.
Exactly. 60, the guy that's scoring 60-point triple-doubles.
Right.
We may see a 30 or 40 we may see a 30 or 40-point triple-double. We may see that still, but we're not going to see those 60-point triple-double explosions where he's just completely dominating the game offensively. No, that guy, for all intents and purposes, is gone. But we do still see a James Harden that is playing at, I would say, maybe a top 50 player in the NBA level. And honestly, I think that's all the Clippers need just to make the playoffs. Now, is this team going to win the championship? No, not at all. Don't see it. If they do, I'll be wrong. I'll say, hey, but right now, as that team is currently constructed, no. And adding the fact, because everybody gets hurt, and we talk about Kawhi with injuries. What about Bradley Beal? One of the reasons why that Phoenix, that his move with Phoenix didn't work, is because they couldn't stay healthy. None of the three of KD, Booker, and Beal, could not stay healthy. All three of them, like you said, they only played 3 games together. And once again, we're being facetious when we say that, but they did not play.
The 2 years he played in, I keep wanting to say Houston, and help me out.
Phoenix.
Thank you. And the 2 years he played in Phoenix, he played 53 games, not total, but both.
Exactly. So Bradley Beal's hurt for the most part. So you still have injury questions when it comes to Bradley Beal. Still have injury questions when it comes to Kawhi Leonard. Honestly, you might have injury questions coming with James Harden, because he is getting, once again, the man ain't getting any younger.
But now
the man James Harden is about 35, 36 years old.
Yeah. But now I think they're going to transition their offensive game a little bit from being like Kawhi and Harden centric. Even if they have Beal, I don't even think they're going to be more Beal centric. They're going to let them do what they do, but I think they're going to start playing with their bigs more, because you have Ivica is how you say his name, Ivica Zubats, and John Collins. That's a pretty good front court, if you ask me. And then Brook Lopez coming in and doing his little stretch 4, stretch 5 things. They kind of, I guess, still have Batum, who is really, to me, I don't know. He must be a very good defensive player, and still, because I don't know how he's still on the roster. Maybe I'm still.
Hey man,
I'm still in the
Batum's still
Charlotte days,
serviceable.
bro. I used to love Nick Batum, and then he came to Charlotte and stole money from us, and I ain't never liked him since.
See, for those younger listeners out there, I'll remember Trailblazers Nick Batum.
That was a basketball player. I'm telling you, when he came to Charlotte, I was like, oh, I'm excited, and he was nothing like that. Nothing like that. And this is my last point. I think that contract was a lot similar to the contract that we gave. That Phoenix gave Bradley Beal. Very similar situations. So to let y'all give y'all some insight on what that was like.
It's crazy. Nick Batum still. I think this man is like going on. We talk about LeBron's longevity. Like, look at Nick Batum, man. Like this man.
He's 36.
Even. I think he got drafted in like 06, 07 or something around that time.
Yeah, he's 36. James 35. I mean, James is 30. Yeah, 35, and Beal he was born in 93, so that make him 32.
Like, I'm just saying.
And Lopez, he like 40.
Exactly. Like, once again, 10 years ago. This team would have been set, man.
Dumb good.
but it's not 10 years ago. It's now. All right. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
And then they got Bogdanovich, who is also 32. This might be the oldest team in the league, bro. Derrick Jones Jr. is 28. Their youngest player is Zubac at 28. Or is John Collins 27? John Collins is 27. He's their youngest player. I guess they're going with veteran leadership.
Yeah, the Clippers are still. The Clippers are still. They're still trying to win with Kawhi because they know, hey, we made this Kawhi trade. We made it because we are trying to win a championship. We want to win a championship, and we got to maximize this window. However, I think the Clippers championship windows is closed. It's just that their owner hasn't realized it yet. And until the owner realizes that, hey, our championship window has closed shut. Until he realizes that, Clippers fans, get ready for another year of disappointment after disappointment after disappointment.
What's going to happen?
Because your owner thinks that his championship window
is finished. I mean, it's still alive. But I think what's going to happen with them is they are going to be a very good regular season team. A sneakily scary team that you don't want to see in the playoffs, but they might be like a second round team or something like that. I think they could win a playoff series, but with these old players, like Chris Dunn is 31. Chris Dunn older than me.
Wow.
By 2 months, but hey. Their youngest players.
I'm like, bro, you 31 too. What are you talking about?
Nah. I was born in May. He was born in what's the third month? March. But nah, I mean, to get off the age, this is my last age guide. Cam Christie is their youngest player at 19. Yes, this is the other Christie's brother who plays in Dallas now. He used to play for the Lakers, but he don't see no play time. So your youngest player is 27, bro. Good luck.
I'm about to say they got a young guy, but but yeah, we will definitely see with the Clippers what they got. I think this is a first round exit. Like, I really think, because you're asking me to put faith in their three main guys playing together, staying healthy for 80% of the season, or at least all three of them be healthy enough for the playoffs, and they all three of them play together for at least 50 games. Because that's what you're saying. Because that's the only way. And I think it needs to be more than 50 games. But I'm giving a nice little round number. But that's what you're telling me. If they even have a chance to even make it to the second round, and I just don't think that's going to happen. I think this is another first round exit and another disappointing year for the Clippers fans, and another disappointing year for their owner, who after this year will probably finally realize that you need to blow it up. It's over. It's done. The Kawhi experiment is a failure. It's okay. But in other basketball news, because we talked about Portland, guess who's coming back, baby, to Portland? Dame Dollar. Blazers fans, one of the greatest players in your franchise history. I'm not gonna say the greatest, because you also got to think of.
Dame is the best. Dame is the best Blazer. I don't care about no Clyde Drexler. I don't care about no Brandon Roy. I don't care about no Greg Oden. I don't care who else they got.
What about Bill Walton? Bill Walton, the guy, the only guy that so far has brought him a championship.
But Bill, I would consider Bill Walton more of a. Ain't he a Celtic?
Yeah, he played for the Celtics, but
that was towards the end.
He was a franchise player for the Blazers.
Yeah,
and if it wasn't for injury, if he didn't get hurt.
Yo, honestly, the Blazers, if you put together their all-time best team, they would have an all-time team. Like, you got Bill Walton before the injuries, you got Dame, you got Brandon Roy before the injuries, Clyde Drexler, and Greg Oden. Oh my God, talent! And there's a lot of players that's been there that I'm not even thinking of. I'm sure, but that sounds like a solid 5 to me all time.
But yeah, so how do you feel about, what is your opinion on Dame Dollar?
That's better. My opinion on this is like, I can't be mad at it, because yeah, he tore his Achilles. Dame is like 30, another like 33. He's gonna miss next season. We all know that. He got bought out by the Bucks, which is good for his pocket. So you know what I'm saying. So regardless, he was going to be playing. He was going to be getting paid the next 3 years anyway by the Bucks.
Yeah.
So now he's going to Portland. He doesn't have to play next year. He's probably going to rehab. He's probably going to be rehabbing a little bit in year 2, and in year 3, that's really when he's going to play. And then he's going to retire. I can't be mad at that, bro. You're coming off of an injury. You're one of the greatest. You're one of the greatest point guards in league history. I would say, honestly, this might be a little hot take, but if I was picking point guards, I would probably, like, in this era or in our era, I would probably go Dame, Curry. No, Dame, Curry, Kyrie. I might pick Dame over Curry. I feel as though their games are similar. Dame is a better shooter than Curry, bro. Curry is the best shooter of all time.
The greatest.
Yeah, that's kind of a catch-22 to say, right? Like, Curry is the best shooter of all time, but Dame is a better shooter. Like just like Clay, Curry's not even the best shooter was not the best shooter on the Warriors. It was Clay. But Curry, him adding his point guard, I would say he might be I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with either one, obviously, because you got Curry, the greatest, one of the greatest point guards ever. But I think Dame is just as good. I think Kyrie is maybe either just as good or like a half of a shade under that. But I'd be inclined to pick Dame over Curry, especially in the beginning of their career, because Curry was more injured. Dame really ain't start getting hurt until this Achilles.
You would have a point, KJ, if we did not see the 2019 Western Conference Finals, and you can't put it on KD was because remember KD during that 2019 Western Conference Finals was not even in that series at all. And Dame Lillard in the Portland Trail Blazers, and I believe it was like 3 straight games, had a chance. Like they literally took a lead in like every single game. It's either 3 of the games or all of the games. They took a lead at halftime and lost every single one. They had a double-digit lead by halftime, if I remember correctly. Once again, I'm just pulling straight from memory here in the 2019 Western Conference Finals, and lost to the Warriors. Once again, no KD because he was hurt.
Yeah.
and subsequently lost every single game. While Steph Curry was just doing his thing, shooting, and I remember it was either game 3 or game 4 was when like Curry was shooting like garbage in the first half, and then the second half this man scored 30, was just tap dancing all over Damian Lillard in the Portland Trail Blazers.
Yeah.
And in that moment, Dame Lillard lost any argument from him being better than Steph Curry. Because remember, there were people that were saying, hey, maybe we need to look at, Dame Dollar being better than Curry. Because look at what Curry's at. He ended up getting Kevin Durant and creating the greatest team of all time. Then 2019 happened. That playoff series.
But if we
No
think about
KD.
if we think about Dame, right?
And he also had help. I don't know this because people
Nah,
because that's
where I'm getting to.
CJ McCollum.
That's where I'm getting to.
You are not going. No, I'm not going to let you underrate 3J McCollum like that.
Okay,
I understand.
Okay. Follow me right quick. So, where was I gonna go? What I know from Dame, yes, he's a deep 3-point shooter. Logo Lillard, come on, Logo Lillard. Then you got, he's famous for sending teams home. I don't understand that, Trae Young now got the little ice tray thing, whatever like that. But Dame Dollar was waving players by. He waved Paul George by in his face. You know what I'm saying?
True.
He was known for that. So yeah, he's pretty clutch too. But the Warriors have a better team. I don't care if Kevin Durant wasn't there. They still had a better team. And they have a better franchise, a better organization too, better coach. They had better everything, but the thing that makes me pick like Kyrie and Dame over Steph to start my franchise with is because they started with trash franchises and still was great. If Steph with his injury history early in his career was playing for like the Jazz and he didn't have Clay come in with him and they didn't have Draymond, I don't know if he would have had the same career. But Kyrie has left Cleveland, done great. Dame left Portland and is still Dame until he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Like I said, you would have a better point if
they didn't go head to head.
That 2019, that Western Conference Finals showed you, because remember, you talk about Steph always having the better team. I need to go back and look at that 2019 Blazers team, but that Blazers team wasn't that bad.
No,
like I said, they had the lead at halftime in every single one of those games and got swept. That 2019 Portland team was not bad. It's just that I don't know. You're gonna be on your own on that one. I understand why. With Dame Dollar, you would choose Dame Dollar over Curry. I would say the one thing Dame does better than Curry is create his own shot. I would say that's what he does, and it's not by a huge margin. I think he does create his shot better, but I think everywhere else Curry is better. In every other facet, he's better.
They have
shooting, playmaking.
Evan Turner. They had the Gary Trent Jr. They had Nick Stowski. Nick Stowski is my Michigan man. They had Afrani. Okay, I'll give them that. Nurkic was a pretty solid center. Then you have McCollum, Damian. They had players like Mo Harkless and Rodney Hood and Seth Curry, Zach Collins, Afrik Aminu, and Scala BCA.
All right, see, I was trying to remember that whole team.
I don't know.
Simons isn't the Anthony Simons that we
I think
know.
That was his first year in the league. I think they had
that's because Anthony Simons that I know it would be a great help. But
if you had him and Dame, oh god. Well, I guess they do have him now, but no. They traded him.
No, Anthony Simons went to the
Went
he
to the
went
Boston.
to the he went to the Celtics. I wouldn't be surprised if he just starts popping off there. But
Yo, no, for real.
But-
Yes.
But let's get back on subject here of Dame Lillard going back to Portland. Of course, we know what it does for Portland. What this does for the Bucks, well, basically, you just lost Giannis. This is what Damian Lillard going back to Portland means, that Giannis is going to be gone.
Even if they got Miles Turner?
He's gone.
Mm.
He's gone. It's over. He's gone. I don't, because the one thing that was keeping Giannis staying there, like in years past, was he wanted to get a ring for the Bucks. He did that in 2021. So in his mind, I don't owe you anything.
He doesn't.
I got you. I did the one thing that you want a franchise player to do at least once. Anytime you draft a player to make your anytime you draft a player to be your franchise player, you at least want him to win you one championship.
And really, he kind of overachieved. Because if we looking at Giannis, his first year, that is not the Giannis that is here right now. That man took the super soldier serum.
Exactly.
Turned into Captain America, bro.
Because the actual guy they wanted to be their franchise player was Jabari Parker, and you know what happened to his career.
Yeah.
And so Giannis wasn't supposed to be the guy that wasn't supposed to be their guy. It just ended up he ended up developing into that. So I think it's time for him to go. Like you said, to the Spurs. That's a popular destination between both of us. So yeah, I think it's over.
I might be a Spurs fan.
I think it is time for, and I think they will. But I think it's time for the Bucks to just blow it up. I really do feel like it's over. I don't see, unless the Bucks somehow, some way get another trade for a superstar.
Well,
I think
they didn't get a superstar, but they did pick up Cole Anthony. So that definitely, I feel like makes their guard situation better. Because I just told you Gary Trent played with Damian Lillard in 19. This is about to be 7 years later. So that's not the same Gary Trent. And then the other guy they got, I don't think that is a starting point guard. So Cole, I mean, he ain't gonna be no world beater, but yeah, they need to blow it up.
I'm like you're trying to. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to do, but it's over.
And I think Giannis wants to be a one team guy. I think he actually is very loyal like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you want to be one of the greats, bro, like, I mean, I think he is one of the greats. I think Giannis is one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the NBA.
But I think Giannis wants. I think Giannis wants more than just one championship.
Yeah, you want more.
He's mentioned
rings,
this.
Bro.
He wants. I don't think he's complacent with being, because to your point, KJ. Yes, right now Giannis is one of the greatest power forwards of all time.
He could be the greatest if he get like 2 more rings.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want that one of the greatest. I think he wants to be the greatest power forward, or I think he wants to be in that top 5 category. I think that's what Giannis wants, and he knows the only way to be considered with that is to win, to continue playing at this level, and also win more championships. He knows that to be widely considered, to be in that top 5 category, top 10, top 5 all-time category, you have to win multiple championships. And so that's where he's at, and I don't think the Bucks really have not put a team around him to win multiple championships. Honestly, I think they had it in 2021, but what happened? They let Drew Holiday go. They let who else go? Of course,
Chris Middleton and
Chris Middleton got hurt
yeah,
though, and they let him go.
Brook
I think that
Lopez
was
is
honestly that was the
gone.
beginning of the end.
Yeah, yeah. Once their 3-point shooter was down, because I mean Drew Holiday was great, but Middleton was their like go
Was their
to
perimeter score.
Brazil was their go to perimeter scorer. Yep.
Exactly. And once he got hurt, it was basically the beginning of the end. And now Giannis, yeah, he's gone. He's gone. It's okay, Bucks fans. He'll leave. Y'all start again, and you'll have to watch the Spurs win another championship with him, I guess. But let's go ahead and move on to other sports. Other sports. As I said at the very beginning of this podcast, football season is 2 weeks away. And because of that, we are going division by division. We are doing a division by division preview, 2025 preview for each of the teams in the division. Last week, we started off with the NFC East. We are staying on the side of the NFC and going down south. Not 85 South, but to the NFC South. All right. So, KJ, how do you see this season for all the teams in NFC South shaking out?
Well, I guess we can go ahead and start at the bottom. The New Orleans Aints, as they are getting very rapidly reapproaching. They were not a good team last year. They were like middle, like bottom middle of the pack in offense last year. Bottom 3 in defense last year, or bottom 4 in defense last year. They're way over the cap. They have an aging roster. They
Two things that you don't want to be.
That's two of the main things in the NFL you don't want to have. It's individually and especially as cumulatively. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's not looking good for them. I did like them drafting Kelvin Banks Jr. In the draft, this past draft. Because you can never have too many linemen. I don't think so, especially talent at linemen. Because you eventually, you don't have a quarterback now. Derek Carr done retired on y'all.
Tyler Shoe. Sorry.
Now y'all got Tyler Shaw. Who? Tyler who? Honestly, like I said, I think this is Arch Manning preparation. It's got to be, because what else are y'all gonna do? Y'all better hope that Arch Manning comes out next year. I mean, if they don't, I don't think that if Arch Manning does not come out next year, they still might be over the cap. So maybe, in the next 2 years, this year they're just gonna use this as like, okay, we're gonna get rid of all of our bogus contracts. But yeah, they basically they are in the Arch Manning sweepstakes, or the guy in LSU that that the Tigers like, Nussmeier. I think Nussmeier's dad is in the front office, or is a coach for the Saints. So that I don't know nothing about no Nussmeier. Y'all know me, I don't like the SEC. So I don't care about none of them boys over there. But if he's as advertised, I guess. They might go get him too. That would be a hometown hero. But yeah, like I said last, don't even have any. Just tank. These next 3 are in no particular order, and I will tell you why. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Bucks. If I am not mistaken, the Bucks won the division last year, went to the playoffs. Yeah. Mike Evans had another 1K, so I think he has 10 straight. He's been in the league 10 years, and every year he's been in the league, he's had 1,000 yards. I think he had 100 catches too, maybe like 99 catches if I'm not mistaken. But and I really do love what they did for him in that last game, getting him that 1,000, because they easily could have just ran the clock out and you still won the game. But doing that little pass to the sideline to get him that extra couple yards to get over 1,000, that I love that. I love that. And then y'all know me, I am a really big Baker fan.
Shake and bake,
baby. I don't know if that's what they say, but we finna start saying that now. They have Chris Godwin, who is injured. I think he injured his Achilles last year, so he's definitely going to be up and down, as great as he is. But they drafted Emeka Ibuka. I don't like Ohio State, but he's in the Big Ten, and I like the Big Ten, so I know who that is.
Exactly.
Emeka Ibuka is a phenomenal wide receiver. Um, Even I was gonna say this is Chris Godwin insurance, but
It is.
it is 10,000%. But also because they could have easily took Jahai Campbell. I think that's where most people had them slotted to go. I think they were like 19 or 18 in the draft. They could have took Jahai Campbell and not gave him to Philly, but
Hey, they said, man, F it. We're throwing this.
we
Listen,
throwing it.
it's all about offense.
Yeah, we went to the playoffs last year. We trying to go back. So Chris Godwin is hurt. We need to replace him. But honestly, when Mike Evans retires too, Emeka Ibuka might be
Mm.
number one, wide receiver number one, and very much I feel like deservedly. Um,
Also, let's have Jalen McMillan there too.
yeah, Bucky
People.
Irvin. At running back, Caleb. I think his first name is.
Yep.
That now they were bottom half in defense last year, but they had a top three offense. So I mean, I could foresee another top five, top six offensive year for the Bucks. And definitely vying for a playoff berth because I mean the NFC is. I'm not going. Is not the worst division in the league anymore. That belongs to the AFC South, but it's wide open. I think competitively wide
Yeah.
open too for our division. Then that leads me to the next team, Atlanta, where we reside.
Yeah.
Um,
Where the players play.
Atlanta where the players play. um, and also Atlanta where they love left-handed black quarterbacks with first name Michael.
Exactly.
um, Last year, they trotted out Kirk Cousins. Honestly, this year I really feel like they should have got Justin Fields, but that's neither here nor there. Um, Honestly, if Atlanta had got Justin Fields, y'all might have seen me at like half them Atlanta games. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. With my Panthers jersey on, but
Okay.
um, yeah, they drafted Michael Penix last year. They trotted out Kirk Cousins, Kirk Thuggins, Kirk O'Chains,
The corpse of Kirk.
the
But yeah,
corpse
yeah,
of
don't
Kirk
make
O'Chains, and then had a little bit better than mediocre season. Um, that first game I think with the Steelers though that was a very special teams heavy game. Shout out to the kickers, but yeah, I think they benched him like 3 games left into the season. And Atlanta was like, why? We have a chance to go to the playoffs, but I personally still don't know why, but maybe they had other plans. They knew Kirk wasn't gonna go all the way. So they was like, we might as well just see what we got with Penix and then see what we're gonna do for the draft, right? So Penix didn't really do terrible in the 3 games he played. They did go 1-4. Um, but almost 800 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 3 games. That's not bad, actually. So y'all know me. I don't hate Atlanta, but I love to dislike them, just because they're in my division. I have to. I don't care if I live here. It actually makes it a lot
exactly.
more fun to do so. You know what I mean? Um, but like again, I'm not an Atlanta hater. I am an Atlanta hater, but I don't hate Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So they have a lot of good players, especially if Michael Penix, hopefully, honestly, comes on more next year because they still have Bijan, they have Drake London on defense. They have AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates, and Leonard Floyd. Then in the draft, they doubled down on defensive end, or really edge rusher, and because that's really all they needed. Atlanta been clamoring for edge rushers for the last 3-4 seasons, and they got Jalen Walker out of
Two.
Georgia, a homeboy,
Yep.
and Michael Pierce Jr. So They're gonna see what's up with Michael Pierce Jr. because all of the little issues he got. But Jalen Walker is great, and then you already have a solid secondary. And like I said, Terrell, my Westlake boy AJ Terrell. Shout out to the number twos. Uh, and Jesse Bates. But then you gonna go get Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. What y'all trying to do with both of them edge rushers? Like Atlanta, y'all should win this division. Y'all were a top 6 offense last year. I expect y'all to be better than bottom half in the defense this year. If so, y'all are winning the division. Like I understand that Tampa Bay is the reigning champ, and they got something to say about it. But if Atlanta got something to say about it, they're gonna be saying a lot more than Tampa Bay is. And the piece de resistance, the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, I mean, this honestly, like I said, I put the other two teams in no particular order because I feel as though not being a homeboy, but I do think Carolina could win a division this year.
Oh no doubt. You said this division was wide open, and I agree 100%.
Atlanta almost won last year. That's with Tampa Bay having this like 3 established offensive weapons and a quarterback and 2 wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
So we definitely have a chance. We only won like 4 games last year, but Atlanta trotted out Kirk Cousins.
Y'all won 5 games. Y'all were 5-12.
5-12. We trotted out.
Don't shoot yourself short.
Man, we should have been like 3 games. I don't know why we won a couple of them games, but hey, it is what it is. Because we could have had Carter, but it's okay. It is what it is. Bryce Young started the season, didn't do too great. Ended up getting benched for Andy Dalton. But I'm going to say when he came back from that benching from Andy Dalton, that man looked like a different quarterback. A much better, much improved, much more focused and understanding of what's going on in Bryce Young. Bryce Young has always been accurate, I believe. So I never had questions about that. The questions was just with his size. And Carolina last year didn't really have much size on the offense as far as skill positions. We had a rookie in Jatavian Sanders at tight end, and then Xavier Legette, who is 6'3". That's why we call him XL. But he was a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could have won that game against Philly, but he dropped the wide open game-winning touchdown pass. So rookie's gonna do rookie things.
No, he's trying to protect y'all draft position, man.
Yeah, he was the only one that was looking out for us, bro. Shout out to XL. Dang, I don't know why I just thought about Malik Beasley. XL, please don't be out here shaving games. We need you. But I think with our draft picks, we might believe that XL is more suited for a better number 2 than a number 1. Because with the 8th overall pick, we drafted Tedorova McMillan, who was like 6'5", 220. You know what I'm saying? That's a big dude. There's questions about like, can he separate and this, that, and the third? But if you watch his tape, bro, yeah, he separates a little bit. Okay, he can get better at the separation, but he wins every 50-50 ball. He doesn't drop nothing. So if he shows more consistency and separation,
and all that is technique, to be perfectly honest, technique and route running.
That's all
that can be taught.
Especially with the best offensive minds in the NFL. Not saying Carolina has the best coaches, but when he's in the NFL, those are the top should be the top of the top. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really not too worried about that at all. They were saying his speed, his running speed. I'm like, dude, do you see how fast he runs on tape? How big he is? Even with all of these deficiencies that you're saying that he has, he still went the first. He was the first receiver drafted, first pure receiver drafted.
You're about to say,
yeah,
because we don't know Travis Hunter.
Right, we don't know what they're gonna do with him. Hopefully, they play him both ways. But so we have a 5'11" quarterback, but we have 2 receivers that are over 6'3". That are over 6'2". So that's cool. Then we have a edge rushing issue too. We got Nick Scorton, Princely Umamlian from Ole Miss, and really, honestly, too, we're getting our former first round draft pick in Derek Brown back, who was injured most of last season, right? So
Yeah.
all of that on defense, the youth experience combination on defense, as well as re-signing J.C. Horn, who is 6'1", if I'm not mistaken, or 6'2". Yeah, he's 6'1", 200 pounds, and then you sign Mo Rig, who's 6'2", from the Raiders.
Okay, tall DBs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We putting some height, some youth, some. I'm hey man, I like it. I like it. And then even like I said with the receivers, like we got two, at least 6'3" receivers, and then we got Thielen and Renfro, who are both veteran guys who do get separation. You know what I'm saying? They kind of have to. Coker is our pop guy. Like he's gonna get all our 9 routes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not catching
Yes.
it. And then you go and get Horn Jr. from Colorado, who I don't really foresee cracking the receiver depth roster.
He might.
But that punt return, kick return, yes, that is our starter. I don't want to see nobody else out here unless his name is Jalen Coker. I don't want to see nobody else out there fielding no balls. Pause. You dig? But yeah, we had a historically bad defense last year. I don't think we're gonna get worse. I mean, you can't get much worse, so we can only get better. Which was worse than the Bengals defense last year, and they had a historically great offense last year and still missed the playoffs, right? I don't know. I'm hopeful. Bryce Young is gonna take a step. The team is gonna take a step. We have our Canellas, another offensive mind, head coach. So we gonna see. Hopefully Carolina can win that division, and if not, hopefully we get a very good draft pick, baby. I don't want to see nothing in between.
Well, so here are my projections. Of course, last year Bucks were 10-7, winning the division, followed by the Falcons, Panthers, and Saints. I think my projections are, because I had it written down. I think the first and the last team in that division remains the same. I got the Bucks winning the division once again at the same 10-7, but the Saints at the bottom at 4-13. Really, probably 3-14. I got them honestly getting them having 4 wins. I might be selling them a little bit kind of high, but I'm gonna give them 4 wins. All right. With the teams in the middle, I got the Falcons being third in the division. I think they're gonna drop down just a little bit. I think they're gonna have 7 wins. I got your Panthers falling just under the Bucks at 9-8. All right. I think with all the moves that your Panthers have made, that you have just thoroughly talked about, because you're a huge Panthers fan. Not surprising.
Carolinian, baby.
Yeah. So I think all these moves, I do think they're going. I think the division is going. Even though it's open, it's open to 3 teams. All right, not the Saints. It's going to be a 3-horse race between the Falcons, your Panthers, and then the Bucks. Now, would I be surprised if the Bucks fall under my expectations? I will not be surprised, because I feel like outside of the Saints, I feel like they're the team that got the least amount of improvement.
Yeah, like I said, you can say that.
Because especially like on that defensive side, like you said, they needed some edge rushers, and like I said, the Falcons saw that and said they added 2.
Yeah.
They said we're gonna need all the defensive help we can get, and now we're gonna see a full season of Michael Penix at the starting quarterback position. He's actually gonna get first team reps throughout practice and all that. So now we're gonna see, and like what we saw in those 3 games of Michael Penix, hey, the guy looked pretty good. Like, I have to say, like, over those, like, it was 3 games or 2.5 games, somewhere like, I like what I saw. I really liked what I saw, and I'm very hopeful for Michael Penix. I think going forward in for the next 10 years, I think it's going to be between if Bryce Young and Michael Penix keep on doing what they keep on elevating the way that they're supposed to, it's going to be those two fighting out for division supremacy. But getting back to this year, I do like a lot of the moves that your Panthers made, especially on offense, getting more help for Bryce Young, because that 13-year-old kid still cannot see over the over the offensive line.
Right.
But no, but in all seriousness, it's kind of funny how y'all went from this offseason being, hey man, this might be a rebuilding offseason because Bryce Young didn't look so good at the beginning of the season, to now we're not in a complete rebuild anymore. We're not gonna. We don't have to be in a complete rebuild yet. Let's just say, but yeah, I definitely like all the moves that y'all made on offense. I cannot wait to see because I think this is the season where we will see the best of Bryce Young, and for all those people who said he was a bust and all that, he's gonna be laughing in all their faces. Once again, Atlanta with Michael Penix, I do like the fact that they did add those two defensive ends because they needed a pass rusher. Hell, we need some pass rushers too as a Commanders fan. I'll talk about. But getting back on subject. But yeah, the two questions about the Panthers is, hey, did what we see from Michael Penix those last few games, were they a fluke or were they a trend? And can that defense be improved, especially that pass rush? The Bucks defense is also there, question mark. We got to see, because we know with Baker and the offense, we know where we're going to get from them. It's just that their defense is another question. All right, and then with your Panthers, is can they put it all together? All these pieces, all this rebuilding, can they finally put it all together and push forward? Because yeah, adding pieces is fine, but are those pieces going to work cohesively together to so you can experience success? And with the Saints, like you said, they're in that Arch Manning sweepstakes. I don't like you said, they're in the worst possible situation. You're an aging team and you're way over the cap.
And you don't want to be
either. You don't want to be one of those. But the fact that you are both, yeah, you gotta find it. If you Saints fans, like you said, they're going back to being the Aints this season. You just gotta find a way just to get past this season, get under the cap, and hopefully draft Arch Manning. And it would all the funny part is it would just all make sense because Archie Manning. His grandfather played for the Saints, and now you got Arch Manning, the guy who has his namesake, being the Saints starting quarterback. It would all make sense. I'm just saying. And if I'm correct, was it? No, I don't think Archie Manning was number one overall pick. I know Peyton and Eli were, but I don't think Archie Manning was, if I remember correctly. But it would make all the sense of the world for Arch Manning, for him to come to the Saints and be that number one pick. It'd just be like a storybook, something the NFL couldn't script it, man. But KJ, you wanted to say something else?
There was two things one thing that I failed to mention, and another thing that I'm looking for. I'm looking at right now. Shout out to Bleacher Report, right? So I'm gonna go with the first thing because it's on topic. For Bryce Young in the Carolina offense, the last 3 games we played, we went 2-1. Right?
Yep.
In 3 games, we put up 94 points. Okay. All right. Added another 6'5" receiver. Okay. But the thing that I am seeing right now is, since we were talking about Damian Lillard and all of that, and Anthony Simons and the Bucks and the Celtics and all of these, failed to dawn on me that Okay, in 2000, let me just go ahead and read it. Shout out to Bleacher Report. In 2013, the trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Blazers got Robert Williams. Well, let me start with this. The Celtics got Drew Holiday. The Bucks got Damian Lillard. The Blazers got Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, this guy named Kamara. What is he? Not a K. 2029 first round draft pick and 2 Bucks first round swaps. Right?
Yeah.
So this year in this offseason, guess what they did? They traded for Drew Holiday, and then they traded for Drew Holiday back, and they traded for Damian Lillard back. So now they got Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, Robert Williams, Kamara to pick.
Back.
Huh?
They didn't trade for Damian Lillard back. They bought. Remember?
Yeah, they bought him back. They brought him back. So yeah, everybody that they gave up and got 2 years ago, they now have back on their team. If Dame was healthy, this would be the ultimate fleece. The ultimate fleece. Because you gave up all of that stuff just to get more back and 3 first round picks.
That, my friends, is how you finesse in the sports world.
Facts. That gene must have lived in Atlanta.
Exactly. Exactly. But speaking of Atlanta, shout out to the NFC South. I'm really interested. Like I said, y'all will not be the worst division in the league. Of course, that's reserved to the AFC South, because not because of the Texans, because of everybody else in there. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how this division works itself out, because even though I picked the Bucks to win this division again this year, I'm not like 100% like, yeah, I'm pounding the table like for that. But let's go ahead and wrap this podcast up like we always do with our last second shout outs. So KJ, who in the sports world do you have to shout out?
I'm gonna go ahead and shout out Mike Williams, wide receiver for nobody now because he just retired. I don't know how long y'all been watching football, but I've been watching Mike Williams since he's been in Clemson. That man is a big, fast, strong receiver. Unfortunately, injuries kind of hobbled his career a little bit, so he could have been even greater. But at the 8 seasons he played, Mike Williams to me was a really good. Well, I guess because he's been hurt for 2 years, so his first 6 seasons, really dangerous wide receiver for the Chargers. Shout out to Mike Williams. Definitely
could have been better. My shout out goes out to Von Miller, because he has been signed by my Commanders. Now, does this move like drastically move the needle? No, it does not. All right, we're talking about a Von Miller that is past his prime, that is for all intents and purposes kind of washed. All right. However, on this podcast for the last few weeks, I've been pounding the table for us to take a flyer on somebody. I don't care who, at the defensive end or the edge rusher position. Just sign someone. Take a flyer on someone. A year deal out of someone. It does not matter. Like I said, take a year deal for somebody. Because, hey, if it doesn't work, it was just only a year deal. Whatever, wipe our hands with it, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. All right? I was begging. And when I finally saw it, I was like, thank God, because we did not have any sort of edge rusher. Now, is Von Miller, well, like I said, we're talking about a washed Von Miller. So is this going to drastically move the needle? No. However, at least we did something to get somebody to see what he got left. Thank God. Oh my God. Because I don't like all these edge rushers that we could just take a 1-year flyer on just to see what they got. Because I'm not asking us to sign a guy for like a 10, 15 million. Like, no, I'm not asking that. I'm just asking us to take a 1-year flyer out of a guy just to see what he got. If he don't got nothing, it's a win-win situation, all right? It's a buy low, sell high type of situation. But yeah, shout out to Von Miller. Welcome to the Commanders. We're going 7-10. Let's go. Because we still have to sign Scary Terry, and that's a whole nother thing for a whole nother. Because this this front office, like y'all acting a little bit too Dan Snydery for me, and I don't like it.
Magic Johnson
because you haven't signed Scary Terry. But I'll talk about that on another podcast, okay? But that's all the time we have, folks. You have now been tuned in to the world's greatest MC, Ron, and his co-host.
Your guy, Zen, on Ken.
And we are keeping it 10 toes down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be on the podcast and talk your sports stuff with the best in the business, that is me and my co-host KJ, all you have to do is one of two things. Either send an email to keepingit10toesdown@gmail.com. That is keepingit10toesdown@gmail.com. Or send us a direct message on Instagram. That is at keepingit10toes. That is at keepingit10toes. Also, just like I said last podcast, if you are listening to this podcast on Spotify, please follow us there. And if you are listening to this podcast on the YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. All right, people, you know you want to hear this quality sports content, and the only way you can do that is by doing those things for us to help us, help you, help us. Just no, but you all have a great day, a great night. And in 2 weeks, Hall of Fame game, baby. Let's go. We counting down to football season, baby.
The sun is under my feet and I come in peace to compete. I don't run if you athlete. My statistics go up in weeks and I go visit the nearest creek and I get busy. Yo, mini MC really ballistic. Anybody can see any assistance. Everybody to see some persistence. Recognize I be really too vicious. The permanent beast and the demolition. Bringing up the street. Better partition. Better dot your T. Hannibal mention. How the fall you see. Putting my dick in the rap industry. Everybody